Right, friends and enemies and members of the vinyl community and, well, people in general. I haven't been on for some time, but I haven't really bought that many records. But lately I've been, well, filling up my record collection even more. So I thought I'd do this video showing some of the latest acquisitions. And I'm going to start with this one. And this is the latest album by the Swedish singer-songwriter Peter Lemarque. The Svagdoft av Skymning. It's on the RCA label, and it's from, I think it was released this autumn. Got it quite cheap, and nice little feature. It's signed in silver ink down here. It's nice. He's a very good singer-songwriter. He's been around for around 30 years, and mellow songs, good songs. Okay, yeah, I showed this on Facebook. This is this album was released by the small Swedish label Caravan in 1960, and it contains, well, Nils Lindberg on piano, on saxophone we have the famous Lars Gullin, Rolf Billberg, Harry Bäcklund, and Alla Lundström, who comes from my hometown, Luleå. Also bass player Sture Nordin and drummer Townsvanzant. I saw this record in Luleå, 2 copies actually, and they were both incredibly expensive. And this is not issued on Bible though, it's issued on the label Sonorama, and it's a German reissue from 2011. But it's a very good album, and it's a good pressing, and I like saxophones, so no reason not to like this album, Sax Appeal by the Swedish modern jazz group. Over to another album that's old, and it's not a reissue. Actually, I have later pressings of this very same album, but this is, I think, one of the first ones. The Big Spiderback Story, Volume 1 on Columbia. It's got the first black Columbia label. Sleeve is a bit worn, as you can see, with tape, and the record is, well, it's fair, well, VG plus at least, and got it for almost nothing, so great find, even though I have later pressings of this very same album with the same contents. Right, some, well, a bit in the gospel vein now. The Best of Joe and Eddie on G&P Crescendo. I think it's from 1966, 67 sometime, not really sure. Yeah, this album has been showed in the Facebook YouTube vinyl community group. It's Mason Prophet. Last night I had The Strangest Dream, and so I found it now for almost nothing, so I was curious. I think still the main reason why I react when I see this album is when I look at this guy. Looks like David Crosby, but it isn't David Crosby. What's the matter here? It really looks like David Crosby. Look. Oh, sorry. Anyway, this was issued on the label Ampex, more known for their great tape. Yeah, I got a hold of a big pile of cheap Johnny Cash albums. Many of them. The only thing that was wrong with them is that they all had some sort of wear on the spine, on the upper spine. Looks like the former owner was a cat owner. So this is, now there was a song on Columbia. It's on the reissue label Columbia Limited Edition. I've never seen that label before, but I know this album is from the 60s, so I guess this reissue is from the 70s. I showed and I talked about the original Golden Hits Volume 1 by Johnny Cash. Now I found Volume 2 and Volume 3. Very nice. We have have this CBS issue, A Thing Called Love, but I wasn't familiar with this before. We had this issue, Welcome to Europe, another issue I wasn't familiar with. It's some sort of compilation on CBS from 1975. Dutch issue, like many CBS albums up here. Now the compilation, The Best of Johnny Cash, and it contains material from the late 60s, early 70s on CBS. It's a Dutch issue on CBS, well, of course. Then we have Johnny Cash and the Tennessee 3, One Piece at a Time, from 1976. Also a Dutch issue. I'm not sure about whether this is some sort of reissue of old material. I haven't listened to it yet. Then we have this one, Strawberry Cake, recorded live at the Palladium, London, England in 1976, I think. And on the back sleeve we have Johnny Cash with strawberry cake in his face. So, yeah. Yeah, that was the Johnny Cash albums. Then we have this one. Bob Burchill and of Perth County Conspiracy, Cabin Fever, on the Rumor label. This is not very familiar to me, but I thought it looked very interesting, so I'll listen to this as soon as possible. But it looks a bit folk country styled, so I think I might like this. It's a Canadian issue, actually. It says Ontario, and it's recorded live in Calgary, so I guess this may be, I'm not sure, is it a Canadian artist? I have to check. Well, this artist I didn't have to check who it is, because, well, Billie Holiday, and this is a compilation from 1973, I think, with some of her most famous tracks, like God Bless the Child, and the infamous Gloomy Sunday, What a Little Moonlight Can Do. So good start for a Billie Holiday collection, although I have other Holiday albums. Then I found this interesting South African album, The Good Boys. I have no idea what this is, but it looks very interesting. It's from 1977. It's on the Soweto label, which seems to be a label on the French WEA. It looks very South African. But this I know what it is. Astor Piazzolla. Themes Original. Pardon my French. French LP from 1982 on the Jonathan label. Some Swedish prog on the YTF label, Friskt Vatten. Det är vi. This is from the late 70s on the YTF label, as I said. And we have an interesting compilation on Liberty, Son of Gut Bucket. We have, well, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Johnny Winter, Canned Heat, Idle Race, Ainsley Dunbar, Retaliation, among others. Another compilation here of Motown 25 US #1 hits from 25 years. It's from early 80s on Motown. Great compilation. I'm not a Motown fan, but nice issue with the nice labels and some of the greater songs from the Motown stable. This next artist, it's because I watched a lot of David Letterman in the 90s. I got familiar with this guy, Warren Ziva, a record from the late 80s, Transverse City. I rarely find Warren Zevon albums, so I like them a lot. Then we have Mott the Hoople, quite classic album, but I haven't had it before, so now I have. It's on CBS from 1974. Oh yeah, the lovely couple, Kate and Anna McGarrigle. I think their two first albums before this is later one, maybe their third, I'm not sure. Pronto Monto. It's on Warner Brothers label. I like the back sleeve photo really. Well, yeah, then I found something that might be interesting for the ABBA collectors out there. We have this album by this group. Oh, sorry. Hootenanny Singers. It's their first album from 1964. It's on the Polar label, which was later to be ABBA's record label. And this is also the first LP issue on Polar. And well, we have the young Björn Ulvaeus here of ABBA fame. And we have, Hansi Schwarz, who held the Västervik music festival that I talked about in a video some months ago, who passed away not that long ago. He was here. It's not super rare, but it's quite rare to find in good condition and to find for such a low price as I did this time, so I was a bit lucky there. Yeah. Bessie Smith, Any Woman's Blues. I like the sleeve very much, although I heard that Columbia threw away the masters after these early 70s compilation albums were made, and I hope that's wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. Alright. Album with the singer Miriam Kaale. I wasn't aware of this one. A Promise of the RCA Victor label from 1975, I think. No, 74. Yeah, this is an album that I wanted for a long time. Not that I'm the greatest fan of Bobby Bear, but such a great compilation of songs on this album. The Streets of Baltimore, and also we have Houston by Lee Hazelwood, and Take Memphis, Tennessee, Green Green Grass of Home, and of course The Streets of Baltimore. Really good country on the RCA label from 1966. This is a later issue with the orange label. Yeah, the producer is Chet Atkins. I forgot to mention that. I bought some albums with Maria Moldau some time ago, but now I found her first album together with, well, Jeff Moldau, Jeff and Maria, Pottery Pie, on the Reprise label. I think it's from 1968-69. Very good singer, at least she. I haven't heard him. Quite famous album that I didn't have before, Ricky Lee Jones. Well, this is just called Ricky Lee Jones. It's from 1979 on Warner Brothers. Great singer-songwriter. Yeah, now over to some reissues. I'm happy to say that I've been looking for the UK prog band Caravan quite a lot. And now, well, I got hold of two of their original albums on reissues. First of all, it's, Caravan. This is probably their most famous one. And then we have A Hunting We Shall Go, live in 1974. Of the Music on Vinyl label. This is also music on vinyl, but they use the Polydor, the original Polydor label. I like the rock group, the female rock group, The Runaways, so I found a reissue of their album And Now, The Runaway. This is after Cherry had left the group. It's on the Cherry Red Phonograph label. It was quite cheap. And over to another album that I wanted to have for ages, but I haven't got hold of it. But now I found a reissue, and it's Townsvanzant. And I actually had a short talk with the store owner, not the store owner, but where I bought this album. The guy who was, the guy I paid and he talked really warmly about this album. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard a lot about it before for many ages, and I wanted to have it, so now I have it, and now I will listen to it. Okay, Swedish popular pop folk duo, First Aid Kit, The Lion's Roar. This received a Grammy in Sweden, and I think rightly so, because this is very nice. I like it a lot. First Aid Kit. Then this lovely issue here. The legendary Jimmy Rogers, Train Whistle Blues. RCA compilation from the late 50s, of recordings from the, well, late 20s, early 30s. This is, although a later issue from the late 70s, it has the black RCA label that was used from 1977 in United States. Very happy to find this. To find original Jimmy Rogers 78 RPMs, well, that's hopeless. That's hopeless, more or less. Oh yeah, finally, soon it'll be time for the next record store day here in Sweden. I rarely really bother with that because, well, first of all, it's always at the time of the month when I don't have that much money to spend on records anyway. So, but I found, well, this issue has been around for, well, since last record store day. So I thought, well, just for fun, I bought this time. It's this 12-inch single, ABBA Voulez-Vous extended dance remix on one side, and If It Wasn't for the Night on the other side. Of course, nice music, but I think the most interesting is the fact that it's issued on blue glitter vinyl. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Well, helps if you hold it up. This is glitter. It's not that it's dirty, but it's glitter in it. So, yeah, that's all for now. Hope you all have a nice, well, whatever you have. Bye for now.